You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Mobile service is meeting customers right where they are, and it continues to gain traction among dealers and consumers. It seems like everybody seems to be happy with this, but joining me now to share what current market looks like for mobile service is Jim Sabino, who is the Fixed Ops Director for All American Ford. You've seen him here before on CBT News. So Jim, thanks so much for joining us once again.
Hi, Jim. Good morning, and thanks for having me again. It's great to be with you and to talk about mobile service and the big craze that's out there right now.
That's right. That's right. It seems like maybe we can shut down the service departments and tell all the technicians, go get a van, and we'll just we just won't have any. We won't have a service line every Monday morning. You know.
Correct. Yeah, there are definitely lines in the morning, and this helps alleviate that for sure.
Yeah. So tell us, and last time you were on, we got a ton of views and a ton of comments from dealers and service managers and fixed ops managers alike. So, and they want to know more about this, and many of them are already on the program, but then a greater number said we're contemplating it, we're looking at it. Does it work? Does it not work? What's the real skinny here? So talk to us. What do you want to share with the fixed ops audience right now and the dealers about this?
The real deal is that mobile service works. It's a remote experience that brings a level of convenience to the customer that's really never existed before at this level. So, we started with one van. We are currently sitting with 11. We have plans for one more before 24 is over, and then we have 3 slated for 25, so for an additional 3. So there is definitely progress happening, and that's a result of the customers receiving this at a very high level. They love this service. It's a convenience that really respects their time.
Yeah.
They don't have to come to the dealership, sit in the waiting room for a couple of hours.
Sure.
They can. For a lot of our customers that work from home, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We pull right up to their house. They never have to leave. They can continue to work, do their job, and we are in their driveway or in their facility there performing services that they typically had to come into the dealership for.
And I will tell you that truck, much like in our neighborhood, everybody uses everyone else's service because they'll see a truck, whether it be a plumber or a landscape company, whatever the case might be. I'm sure this has also helped to sell you a few cars from neighbors that go, wait a minute, they bring the service to you, right?
Correct. And yes, the vans on the road every day is an advertising mechanism. So not only do you get, the people to see that, hey, your next door neighbor getting a service, a recall performed, or an oil change, or a replacement of a battery, they may be in the market for a new vehicle.
Yeah.
And say, wow, if All American Ford provides this service, it's worth a look to go see if I can get a new vehicle from them. So we're seeing customers we've never seen before based on the advertising of these vans promoting every single day they're on the road. So it's a pretty cool experience that way. You get an advertising lift, not only a customer satisfaction lift, but you're getting an advertising lift.
So let me ask you from the technician standpoint. I mean, obviously, it's tough enough in the industry for us to get technicians to, we just can't. I mean, I think we need like 73,000 over the course of the next 18 months or something. And those are tough enough to get. How does this change that landscape when you tell a technician, hey, we need you, but you're going to be in a truck driving out to customers' homes and businesses?
Well, overall, they like the van. Some of the guys don't like it. They want to be in the shop. And some guys treat it as their office, and they take care of it. And they take pride in it. They have their own personal setup. They pull up in front of somebody's home, and they take pride in it. So it's always clean. It's organized. They open up that sliding door and show the interior of the truck. Some of the customers come out. They want to touch it, feel it. They go, wow, this is what's inside of this thing. And others don't even come out of the house. They just stay in there and just let me know when it's done. Text me, leave the key on the cup holder, and we're good. But overall, it's a kind of an entry level technician that goes in these trucks. It's not some of the higher skilled guys that do engines, transmissions, some of the very intense drivability or electronic diagnosis. They stay put in the dealerships. It's more of the entry level and the kind of the not an apprentice, but it's basic services, right? So it's recalls, it's oil changes, batteries, air filters, wiper blades, things like that are really easy in and out. What I call it's an urgent care on wheels, right? If you have a cold, you go to urgent care. If you have chest pains, you go to the hospital. So that's the kind of differentiator of the mobile service, right? It's an urgent care. If you have chest pains, you're not calling me when that's into the van to your house. You're coming right into the dealership and we're working on your vehicle that way. Right. So entry level technicians are not easy to get, but they are easier than the more experienced technicians. So, you have to play an active role in trade schools and career fairs. And we actually bring the mobile van to these events. So these students can see the van and wow, it's like a wow factor. Like, I'm going to work in this thing. It's really cool. So it gives you a competitive edge on a dealership that may not offer mobile service because we're different. So somebody may say, I want to drive that van. I want to go out and work on the field.
What do you say to the dealer that's listening that says, well, how do you upsell a customer that might need the work done on a lift versus in the driveway? And is there any upselling being done by these technicians, these junior technicians that are going out? How do you see that, or how do you deal with that?
Well, it starts at the scheduling, right? So a vehicle, say a 3-year-old car with 45,000 miles on a check engine light or some type of a dead battery issue, that's a type of vehicle you want to come into the dealership.
Right.
Not necessarily we're going to send the mobile service. I mean, if that's the customer's request and we can't do either a pickup or delivery or make it more convenient for them, we're going to send a truck out there. But we are going to make a first attempt to get that dealer, to get the customer to come into the dealer so it's seen on a lift in the dealership.
Okay.
First services, simple recalls, anything with 15,000 miles or less is the perfect spot for the mobile service,
right? For
the retail customers. The fleets, typically, you're not doing brakes and stuff like that. And Ford actually just sent out some information the other day about inquiring about tire trucks. They want the dealership's input on is it value in setting up tire trucks to do tires on the road.
Yeah.
So that's I'm waiting to see what the answer is on that. It's a good option.
Yeah.
But again, when the wheels are off, you may miss some things out there on the road. And we have had upsell situations on the road where we've rescheduled and the customers come into the dealership to get the bigger or the larger work done. But a lot of the cars that we're seeing are newer, so there's not much upselling to be done.
Sure.
But there is enough of them to keep the vans busy to make it convenient for the customer that they don't have to come in until after the car is at least 1.5 to 2 years old.
Sure. Did you guys offer loaner cars prior to this? Because it would seem to me it takes off the pressure from the loaner cars being turned, right?
Correct. We decreased the amount of loaners in our fleet solely based on offering mobile service. So there's so many benefits to it, right? And you're also, we're maxed out. Like most dealerships are maxed out. Their stall capacity is maxed out. They have no more room, right?
That's right.
So this allows us to increase our capacity without brick and mortar, without the expense of adding an addition onto your shop or opening up a satellite location, maybe a block away or things like that. So it's a great option to increase your capacity with mobile vans. Really, it's a great option.
What about if I want my vehicle serviced on a Saturday when I'm home from work? Do you do that?
Right. We will. Just conversation just came up the other day. There are a couple of customers that sometimes we meet them at their needs. So somebody wasn't able to do it until 7 o'clock at night. We sent the van out at 7 o'clock at night. So
nice.
Sometimes you have to bend the rules, and
that goes a long way, especially in reviews and everything else. Wow.
Yes. So on Saturdays, typically the appointment schedule is Monday to Friday, but there are a lot of things that we have cooking that of Saturday service with maybe half of the loaners, half of the fleet of vans on the road, and not a full complement. Yes, these are all being tested, and again, Jim, it comes down to personnel and staff, and as we just discussed that before. It's incredibly hard to get people, let alone the right people, to perform these jobs. So that's always a challenge in itself. But you keep working. You have to keep working until you get the right mix of people.
If we were having this conversation 5 years from now, what does that look like? Give me an idea of what your vision is for this long term. Is it 50? Is it 50 trucks on the road?
It's definitely an increase. Again, I am 100% bought in that this is here to stay. This isn't going to go away anytime soon. Where there's a lot of mixed emotions where people are like, it's a fad. Ford's going to walk away from it, and the dealers are going to be left holding the bag. That absolutely is not the case. Ford is 100% committed to mobile service and the remote experience because it's successful. We're 3 years into this now, maybe 3.5 years into this now, and it every year, every 6 months, it increases and increases and increases. So, and then Ford is behind this again. They are working really hard to make this better. Last time we spoke, Jim, there was approximately 3,000 vans through the Ford Lincoln network. Today, there's a little north of 3,500 vans on the road every single day between Ford and Lincoln dealerships.
Okay.
So it's good. Just think about that on a spaghetti map in the country. 3,500 vans in motion every single day. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
And more to come. More to come.
Yeah, there's no question about it, and it's very exciting. Until such a time that we'll just have a drone, right, that flies over, drops down the technician, drops down the bars.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But right now, this is working really well.
Yeah.
But that maybe in 5 years we can have that discussion for sure.
I'm sure Amazon's working on it right now with one of their OEMs that they're working with or something. But that's
or
pretty
Musk
cool.
Or something. Great.
That's fantastic. What one bit of advice would you give to a dealer or a fixed ops director that's listening to you today as they think about this, or they enter into a mobile service? What are maybe some of the pitfalls that you say you gotta focus on this?
Well, different parts of the country is different, right? So there's a playbook. There's Ford comes out and they support you and they do the training and they get you going. I say start with one unit, as most dealers do, and get your feet wet. You need to build out a team. You need mobile service technicians. You need a mobile service coordinator.
Right.
This cannot be done with your existing staff.
Okay.
It cannot. This is like a business within a business.
Yeah.
So you have to staff it as such.
Yeah.
But overall, you have to be prepared for the ups and downs. It's not, the phone's not going to ring. You have to go out and aggressively market to your customers that you offer mobile service.
Right.
You can't assume that they know it exists.
Right.
You have to tell them. Test the water, start with one, see how it goes. You need commitment from the top down. Everybody has to buy into this. You can't have somebody there saying, like a service advisor saying, they're stealing my work, I'm not making any money, I'm losing the jobs out to the van.
Right.
So you need buy-in and a commitment. And that's from the top down. It's leadership. They have to show the positives and what this means to the dealership as an entire department, including sales department, parts department. Everybody wins.
That's fantastic. Jim Sabino, Fixed Ops Director for All American Ford in New Jersey, where it's 80 degrees today. But congratulations on that in the middle of October. But thank you so much. I know that the dealers viewing this show and the Fixed Ops Directors are probably taking notes. They might even reach out to you and say, hey, we want to learn more. What's the real deal? But you've been very detailed in providing them with some great information and great suggestions. So thank you so much. Love to, again, do a follow-up with you as time moves along here.
Of course. Thanks, Jim.
Great.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.